All right, hold up. I just gotta watch this scene one more time.
Freeze, asshole!
Oh my god.
No f***ing way.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I saw this movie called Dangerous Lies. And if you enjoyed this movie, then I'm sorry. I'm not sorry for making this video, but I'm sorry that you have such an awful taste in movies. That was mean. It's pretty bad, and I didn't expect it to be good. You know, when I saw the thumbnail and I saw the description and hell, even the title, Dangerous Lies, I didn't think it was gonna be good. So what's it about? Let's just start with the IMDB description. When a wealthy elderly man dies and unexpectedly leaves his estate to his new caregiver, she's drawn into a web of deception and murder. If she's going to survive, she'll have to question everyone's motives, even the people she loves. This description is actually a little bit misleading. So what I'm gonna do is 3 things. First, I'm gonna briefly break down the movie so you have an idea of what actually goes down. So yeah, I'm gonna spoil it. 2, then I'm gonna make a new IMDb description that accurately depicts what the movie actually is about. And number 3, I'm just gonna have a quick edit at the end that actually turns this film into a TV show sitcom, because I think that actually fits this movie way better. So let's get going.
Number 1. The plot.
So the movie's about a married couple named Katie and Adam, who are poor and never stop talking about it. It's immediately annoying straight from the start, because Adam doesn't want to work. He's terrible at interviews, but for some reason thinks he's doing great and deserves a job.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the interview went very...
I've had many job interviews, and even the ones where I thought I crushed it, I never acted like this.
I agree. I thought the interview went very...
I see.
He also desperately wants to be rich and have money, but doesn't want to try to earn any of it. And Katie, on the other hand, is a caregiver for this old guy named Leonard, who can't act for shit. In fact, nobody really acts well in this movie at all, but whatever. And Katie also hates being poor. Well, old Leonard dies and leaves all of his assets to Katie, and everyone is pissed about this and thinks Katie had something to do with the old man's death, or someone close to Katie had something to do with Leonard's death. But Katie's a good person and is truthful and honest and had nothing to do with it. Does this concept sound familiar? Isn't there a different film that has a very similar concept? One that was definitely executed infinitely better? A whodunit type film? No, me either. I can't think of any, so let's just move on. Oh, I almost forgot. Katie is the one who finds Leonard dead in the house. And let me ask you this. What would your first reaction be if you saw someone lifeless in a chair? What do you do? Do you call 911? No, why would you do that? Why would you do that? You'd probably just sit there looking sad, staring at the body, and then maybe you'd look around and see if you can find anything, such as, you know, a trunk full of cash? Perfect. And then what would you do with that cash? You'd probably think about taking it for yourself, maybe deposit it into a bank? Yeah. No, that makes sense. The police get involved, and this detective here is kind of just rude straight away.
We're married.
I kind of got that.
Yeah.
I kind of got that.
But don't worry, all right? She has a tough personality, but in actuality, she's fantastic at her job and is a good person. Totally not, a cliche. Meanwhile, Katie has this realtor named Hayden interrogating her about the house because he wants to sell it, apparently. But of course, he's not a realtor. He looks creepy straight from the start. And yep, come to find out by the end, he's a bad guy all along who wants diamonds that are stored in the house. Oh my God, it's shocking. In addition, Katie has this detective all up in her face because she thinks Adam killed Leonard to keep the money for himself and also thinks Katie is in on it. Then the detective fills in Katie's boss about this situation and also lets her boss know that Adam was also employed by Leonard when he should not have been, and that Katie and Adam both took $7,000 from Leonard, which looks pretty sketchy, but we find out earlier in the movie that that was just money that Leonard gave to Katie earlier in the film to help her out with her financial struggles. But nope, without asking any further questions, her boss just agrees that Katie was using Leonard all along. And then this boss just comes knocking on her door super aggressively. And Katie just tells him to leave, so he's like, all right, I guess I'll just leave then. That's fine. I mean, I was pissed, but I'll just go away. You're right. But again, if Katie was clean from the start and told the detective that Leonard gave them $7,000 in the beginning, And if she didn't steal from Leonard and wasn't sketchy about what her and Adam's intentions were, she would not have been in this mess to begin with. And during this tangled mess, Katie is encountered by Leonard's attorney, who comes into the picture. And this is her first introduction.
We should say something.
And he shall be like a tree, planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season.
I edited none of that, okay?
That bringeth forth his fruit in his season.
That is how this character is introduced into this movie. Immediately seems sketchy as hell. Some more bullshit happens, but let me just skip to the best parts now. Eventually, remember Katie's boss that I was just talking about? Well, he decides to let himself into Leonard's house unannounced. You know, let me just enter the house. But Adam steps out of the room and he actually startles Katie's boss. Katie's boss gets startled and ends up falling down the stairs. I couldn't stop laughing at this. That's it. That's the end of his character. We never see this guy again. Then a little bit later, Katie meets up with Adam again, and they decide to pack up their stuff and leave. And Adam explains to Katie that, per his research, Hayden is a criminal who wants assets in the house. He wants diamonds. Wow, I'm shocked. I did not see this coming. I was shocked by this news. So Adam's like, yo, Katie, we gotta leave. But then they separate, even though Adam just told Katie that there's a criminal on the loose who wants diamonds from the house that they're staying in. They decide to separate. And what do you know? Katie turns a corner and bam, there's Hayden. And he wants the diamonds. And instead of handing them over, Adam thought it'd be a good idea to get into a shootout with the guy. And at this point, my girlfriend was like, why don't you just give him the diamonds? No, let's get into a shootout instead because these diamonds are that important to me. All right, I need to be rich, damn it. So Adam ends up in a shootout with this guy, but don't worry, he gets a couple shots into the guy and kills Hayden before Adam dies himself. And in comes the attorney into the house. So now Katie's boss, Hayden, and Leonard's attorney have all just entered into this house. What type of bullshit security system is set up in this house? And then it turns out, bam, the attorney is bad too. This was supposed to be, I think, like a really surprising twist. I think I was supposed to be like, oh my god, what? But again, this was the attorney's introduction to begin with.
The rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season.
And then, bam, in comes the detective. And then now the detective gets in a shootout with the attorney. And she's on the ground shooting at the attorney. Another shootout, right on your back. But don't worry, the detective wins. Now some time goes by, right? And we get, 4 months later on the screen. What font is this 4 months later written in? Is that Impact? That looks an awful lot like Impact font. I feel like I could have edited this movie. And it turns out Katie's pregnant, and we see a close-up of the diamonds in the garden, and then some credits. Oh my god. What hot garbage. Now let's change the IMDB description to what it actually should be.
Number 2. Fix IMDB description.
Let's change it to this. When a wealthy elderly man dies and unexpectedly leaves his estate to his new caregiver, her and her unmotivated boyfriend irresponsibly decide to steal his money because the estate wasn't enough for them. So due to circumstances that were self-inflicted, Katie and Adam end up on a dark path they can't escape from. That, to me, is a better, more accurate description as to what this movie is about. Much better. Okay, so now that we got items 1 and 2 out of the way, it's time for item 3. Let's re-edit this movie as if it was a TV show sitcom, because it's just way better that way.
Number 3. Create a better edit.
Listen to me. I sound like some silly old man.
No! We're married.
I kind of got that.
I agree. I thought the interview went very well. I see.
We should say something.
And he shall be like a tree, planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. And whatsoever he doeth shall prosper.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Jesus Franklin.
I'm sorry, this really isn't a good time.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm sure you're very busy settling into your new home. Shelter yourself.